Well, hello again. It's been a little while since I posted the concluding video of the work on chords and scales in this series. At that point I said I was going to round off the whole series with one more practice tips video. So this is going to be it. And in this very final video I'm going to talk about something called proprioception. Now, if you don't know the word, proprioception, sometimes called kinaesthesia, is the sense that allows us to locate various parts of our body in relation to the rest of it. It's the sense that enables us, for example, to touch the end of our nose with our eyes closed, or find an elbow or an ear, put two fingertips together, and so on without looking. In the context of playing music, it's the sense that allows us to play an instrument without having to look at it. In the case of guitar, without having to look at our fingers on the fretboard or our right hand picking against the strings. This introduces an extra little complication in that you have to not only locate your body parts in relation to each other, but in relation to an inanimate object, namely the instrument. And this means that it requires a certain amount of training and practice. You may ask, why is it important to be able to play without looking at the instrument? Well, there are a number of reasons. For one thing, if you're reading from a piece of music, be it a score, a tab or a chord chart, you can't be looking at the page and looking at your fretboard at the same time. Even if you're playing from memory or improvising, there aren't many playing positions in which you can keep both of your hands in view at the same time. But there's another and perhaps more important reason, which can be summed up in one word: communication. If you're a solo performer or fronting a band, then you need to be able to maintain some kind of rapport and engagement with your audience. If you're playing in an orchestra or a big band, you need to be able to follow what the conductor's doing. If you're playing in a small band, you need to be able to keep an eye on your fellow musicians, pass cues back and forth, give each other encouragement, and so on. And what this comes down to, 9 times out of 10, is eye contact. Now, if you've been watching the rest of these videos, at this point you're undoubtedly pointing an accusing finger at me. Well, I have to admit there's some things that I've had to demonstrate in the course of this series that I can't play with confidence without having to take at least a glance at my hand and at the fretboard. And all I can say about that is, well, I'm learning too. There is no reason that we can't improve on that, and there's certainly no reason that we shouldn't try. So I'm going to demonstrate a little sequence of physical and visualization exercises that I've developed to help develop this sense of proprioception. I find it a handy little warm-up at the start of a practice session. There's no kind of magic formula to this. I'm sure you can just as easily devise alternatives, variations of your own. However, this is the way I'm going to approach it. I take the starting position of whatever exercise or piece I'm about to practice. Now, this could be a single note or a chord. For the purposes of demonstration, I'm going to take a very simple example. I'm going to say I'm going to be playing the C major scale. I'm going to start it in the obvious position on fret 3, string 5. So my starting position is going to be this note C here. If you're watching this with your guitar handy, you might like to follow along from this point. First thing I do is make sure I'm happy with the way I'm playing the note. So, for the moment, using my eyes, I look at my finger position. Is it located correctly between the frets? Is the curve of the finger the way it should be, playing with just the pad at the end of the finger? Have a look at the curve of the wrist and the elbow, make sure we're happy with that. And most importantly, make sure I'm happy with the tone. Perhaps apply a little vibrato to help get a feeling of the finger anchored against the string. When you're happy with the tone, close your eyes. And now, with your eyes closed, think about your posture and position. Think about how the arm goes from the shoulder, the bend of the elbow, curve of the wrist, the curve of the finger, and the position of the fingertip against the string. Think also about your right hand, how that is positioned relative to the guitar, with the pick in place, ready to pluck the note. Also, think about the position of the rest of your body, the posture of your back, the set of your shoulders, and if you feel any tension anywhere, let it go. You should be feeling relaxed, but ready, poised to play. When you're feeling comfortable, play. If anything doesn't sound quite right, try and adjust your position and posture without opening your eyes. When you're happy with the tone, still keeping your eyes closed, pay attention to your breathing. Breathe slowly, deeply and evenly. If you're familiar with any breathing exercises from yoga or relaxation techniques, this might be a good time to apply them. And now, as you breathe in, try to picture the air travelling into your lungs, out of your lungs, through your body, into the bloodstream, following the path of the blood vessels, out, down your arms, around the bend of the elbow, the curve of the wrist, the bend of the finger, and reaching your fingertip. And play. Once again, when you're happy with the tone, think about the note or the chord that you're about to play. Think of its name. If it's a chord, think of its constituent notes. Think of its position on the fretboard. Think of the shape your hand makes against the fretboard when playing it, and the position of your right hand when you pluck the string to play it. And try to hear the sound of the note or chord in your head. So in your mind there is now a complete visual, audio and physical representation of the note taking shape. And now imagine that idea of the note travelling from your mind to your hand to become a physical reality. So picture the concept travelling from your brain down the spinal column, again out across the shoulders, down the arm, following much the same path as the air that you breathed in, finally emerging at the fingertip as a physical note. When you're happy with the tone, return to thinking about your posture. Once again, let your mind wander through your body. Feel that there's no unnecessary tension in the arms, in the shoulders, in the back. The back is straight, allowing you to breathe freely and easily, and the arms and hands are in position, ready to play again. But now think a little further, beyond your basic posture, to your attitude. Try and imagine yourself at a point in the future where you've achieved the mastery of the guitar that you're aiming for, and think about what kind of a performer are you going to be? Are you going to be cool and detached? Are you going to be intense and passionate? Are you going to humbly channel the musical muse and allow the music to speak for itself? Or are you going to dominate the stage as a strutting showman? Whichever way you want to be, try and form a clear picture in your mind of what that guitarist is going to look like. And compare that image with your current posture, your current attitude. And if you feel any differences, then gently move into the image. Allow yourself to inhabit the body of the ideal guitarist. And play. Now, once again when you're happy with the tone, let your arms drop to your sides. With a deep breath in and out, shake any residual tension out of the arms and fingers. And then in one smooth movement, bring your hands back to the instrument and play. If you find you've missed the note, try to move smoothly and gracefully into the correct position without opening your eyes and without any jerkiness in the movement. Only as a very last resort would you open your eyes to check your position visually. And then we simply repeat this. So drop the arms, breathe in and raise the arms and play. Finally, when you're consistently hitting the right note or chord accurately and with good tone every time, still keeping your eyes closed, we carry on and play the rest of the exercise or piece that we're aiming for and see just how far you can get before you need to open your eyes. And I think you're likely to be pleasantly surprised. And that finally brings us to the end of this video series. I hope you found it helpful. Of course, I hope that some of you may even go on to buy my book, but that's not the most important thing. The main thing is to get playing and enjoy your playing. So goodbye and good luck.